So, if you're watching this, you're probably struggling with stress eating or finding yourself constantly wanting to eat when you're left alone. And the reason I'm making this video for you is actually because it was requested during a workshop that I hosted on overcoming mindless eating as well as trusting yourself around food. And when this topic was sent in, I was like, this is so good because I know it's something a lot of people struggle with, and it's something I love helping my clients with. So I'm actually going to be sharing that piece of the workshop with you. If you want access to the full workshop, I'll put a link to it. It's going to be on celestial.fit/snacking. But let's just get right into the meat of this, okay? And by the way, if you don't know me, I'm Celeste Rains Turk, and I help competitors to make peace with food, their body, and their goals. In other words, I help people to build more than just a body. I don't just work with competitors, but a lot of the girls that I work with end up being competitors. And I'm so happy to be here helping you today, because if you do struggle with this, then you'll be able to get some implementable action steps immediately that you can apply, and or some motivation for moving forward and finding other tools for this. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see these action steps I'm referring to. Something that we need to know about stress eating or being left alone in eating is that it's usually a response to an emotion or maybe to a disconnect with our identity. So if we ask ourselves, what is the stress or emotion I'm experiencing? We can start to get an understanding of what's almost triggering that desire to eat, or actually the act of eating itself. The reason we need to identify that emotion is because emotions are teaching us all the time. They are serving us so that our body can return to homeostasis, so that our brain can be in congruency, so that we're not battling ourselves. So emotions come up as protective mechanisms, as reinforcers, and as great teachers of our life. So if you can ask yourself, if every single emotion is meant to bring my body back into homeostasis, what is this emotion asking me to give my body? What is this emotion asking for or needing or showcasing a need for? This will allow you to come up with a list of action steps that don't include stress eating or eating because no one else is home. And instead, you can go, I know that this is an emotion that my body and brain actually crave. I'm using food to fulfill or evoke that emotion within me. So for example, you might be feeling stressed out. So you are craving maybe peace of mind, and you're getting that peace of mind or control, let's say, through the food. But instead you can go, I'm feeling stressed out. I know I want to have control or peace of mind. And this is an action step, aside from eating, that can actually give that to me for the long term and empower me, make me feel good. So that's just an example of how you might use that. Another thing to consider is that stress is very consistent with anxiety, which usually is just a result of being so focused on past or future experiences. It's really taking us out of the present moment. You'll notice that you're probably not stressing about what's happening right now. You're stressing about how what's happening right now is either going to be impacting your future, or you're stressing about something that's occurred in the past and how that could have an influence on your future or your future decisions or success. So knowing that, then we can say, oh, I'll bring myself back into the present moment. One of the things that I love having my girls do if they are struggling with being in the present moment is looking around and identifying things in their immediate environment and taking the time to describe them in really descriptive and full of imagery, so that they can be fully present with it. Okay. So, for example, they might look and say, wow, that blanket over there is so fuzzy and it looks incredibly warm. And I bet if I got underneath it, it would be cool at first, and then suddenly it would envelop me in a comforting warmth. So they can take themselves and immerse themselves into the present moment. Maybe it's about breath work. It could even be about identifying things about yourself that are true in this moment. Whatever you know of that gets you back into the present moment, we need to implement that proactively. So meaning not just when the stress comes up, or not just before you're being left alone or when you're left alone, but also before that. So that way these are consistent fulfillments. You're consistently in the present so that it doesn't all of a sudden consume you with stress and you're hustling to get back to the present, if that makes sense. Another thing is to ask yourself what activities can bring you the relief you're seeking from food. So this goes back to what am I actually craving and how can I get it aside from the food? This could also mean that you come up with other ways to spend that time when stressed or when you're left alone. And I mentioned here a self-awareness chart. If you want to see what that self-awareness chart is, you've got to opt in for the full workshop. It's free, it's exclusive, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing just to find it and show it to you because I'm giving you lots of action steps as is. So if you're looking for more, just go to celestial.fit/snacking and you can get it for free, get instant access, all that good stuff. But going to the being left alone and eating, I know I personally struggled with this so much, especially post show. In the past, that was a big deal for me. It was like, as soon as no one was home, I'd want to eat everything because I could, and no one would hold me accountable to it. No one would know, and no one would see me acting out of alignment with this identity, and I'd be the only one who knew, and blah, blah, blah. It felt freeing to know that I could just do that. And it was like, I was seeking autonomy. I was seeking control. I was seeking just to fulfill so many different things, like a self-worth issue, also wanting to fill this void of that was being caused by restriction, this fixation mindset. So anyway, it's important to just have some other things you can look forward to or plan to do when you're alone. So that could mean, oh, I'm going to watch this one show on Netflix, or oh, I'm going to bump this music really loud and dance and sing, or oh, I'm finally going to organize this area of the house. Or it could mean, oh, when I'm alone, I ABC. So you got to come up with something that's going to be good for you to look forward to. And it should be like a habit that you only do when you're alone, or that you can only look forward to when you're alone. Because a lot of you probably end up finding yourself being left alone frequently. So if that's the case, have one thing you can do every time you're left alone. It's like a form of habit stacking. So what's going to happen is it serves as something to look forward to. Now you'll no longer have that anxiety around being left alone, but instead you'll have gratitude and excitement and a new thing to look forward to when you are alone. So that way eating isn't the first thing you think about or do because you already had some other things to look forward to. Now, it's really important to understand that eating in general is not as simple as stress and emotional eating. It's not like that. We have to really dig deeper beyond the surface level, and everyone's experiences, everyone's drivers can be very different. So I recommend that if this is something you are struggling with and you are looking for support with it, first, try these action steps out. Second of all, I would apply for my food relationship healing and discovery program. This is an awesome one-on-one coaching program that I've developed specifically to help people who are struggling with their relationship with food. If you want more information on that, I'll put it in this video as well. But you can always find that on www.celestial.fit too. But like I said, if you are interested in more action steps around this particular issue, as well as just eating in general, definitely go to celestial.fit/snacking and enroll for the rest of this workshop. And I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you for joining me in this video, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, comment below or share it with a friend who might be able to help, or a teammate who might be able to help. And I'll see you on the next video. If you have any requests or things you want me to cover, let me know and I'll be happy to do that for you. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're watching this video. Just make it awesome.